What's up, food fans? It's Bobby, and today we are doing steak meal prep. Because it's Sunday in Chicago, I gotta feed the machine and make all my meal prep for next week. So we are making spice-crusted skirt steak with oven-roasted Brussels sprouts, tossed with walnuts and craisins, and oven-roasted sweet potato fries. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button because I want you to be the first ones to see my recipes when they come out Friday morning. And if you want to see more meal prep and have recipes in mind, shoot me a comment. I will hook you up and I will do it. Let's make some steak. In front of me, I have 5 portions of skirt steak. Now, me loves skirt steak because it's very affordable, it cooks really quickly, and it's very forgiving, so it's kind of hard to overcook it. Now, you might be noticing a pattern that I am obsessed with spice rubs, so we're gonna make another one of my favorites. In front of me, I have 2 teaspoons of ancho chili powder. It's not so much spicy, but it's nice and fruity and earthy. To that, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of paprika. Next, I'm gonna grab some coriander, dried thyme, and cayenne pepper, and a teaspoon of brown sugar. So this spice rub will not only add a ton of flavor, an amazing crust, but it's gonna add no additional fat. You could also make like a double or a triple batch of this, save it in your pantry, and use it on pork chops, ribs, chicken. This stuff is money. Now, if you watch my other steak videos, you know that salt and steak are BFF. So I'm gonna grab some kosher salt and give a generous pinch. I find that most home cooks are really timid when it comes to seasoning their meat, and salt actually makes steak taste more beefy. So trust me, go aggressive. And then grab the spice rub and make it rain up on that beef. Flip the steaks, do a little more salt and spice rub. Now here's the key for making the crustiest steak, house-worthy steak ever. We're gonna let these guys rest at room temperature for 30 minutes. During that time, the brown sugar and the salt is gonna pull a little bit of moisture to the surface. That spice rub is gonna penetrate deep down in the meat, making the insanely crustiest crust ever. I'm not sure if that's a word, but it is now. And you never wanna cook cold steak. It has to be room temperature. So I'm gonna put this aside for 25 minutes. Now let's make the Brussels sprouts. No, stop, don't click away. Do not go away. These are not your mama's Brussels sprouts that are soft, soggy, boiled, and frankly, smell like farts. This is my patented method for making crispy, oven-roasted, nutty, creamy Brussels sprouts that are gonna make you a true believer. Trust me, you're gonna go gaga. I have 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts here. I'm gonna first snip off a little piece of the root and then cut them in half and add them to a large bowl. I'm gonna grab some olive oil and go in with like 2 or 3 tablespoons. Because we're oven roasting these, they need the oil to help get them crispy. And it's olive oil, it's a heart-healthy oil, so don't you worry about it one bit at all. You have my seal of approval. Then go in with about a teaspoon of kosher salt and a few cracks of pepper. Now, mama told me never to play with my food, but mama ain't here, and how can I resist when it's this fun and I'm actually tossing these properly? Now I'm gonna hook you up with the biggest tip ever for making crispy Brussels sprouts. I'm doing it because I love you guys, but in the oven that I'm preheating at 400 degrees, I have my sheet tray. Because I have a hot, screaming hot sheet tray, these Brussels sprouts are gonna start caramelizing and getting crispy dispy as soon as they hit it. Watch. Listen, you hear that? Sizzle, sizzle, my nizzle, nizzle. That is the trick to making these crispy as can be. Spread them out in one even layer. And these go in the oven for 25 to 35 minutes until golden brown and delicious. It is steak time, amigos, and for that, we are doing double vision of cast iron panery. I'm gonna put this one here, and then my backup here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't wanna overcrowd the pan with our steak, because if you do that, you ain't gonna get that sear and you ain't gonna get that crust. You're gonna boil the steak in their juices, and that is not what I want. The dry rub has really seeped down into the meat, and just like I said, that brown sugar and salt has drawn a little bit of moisture to the surface. Crust nation will be achieved in mere minutes, my friends. I have my pan preheating over medium heat. I'm gonna drizzle in about 1 tablespoon of oil. And if you did it right, your pan's gonna sound like this. Yes, the sound of happiness, my friends. Now here's the deal, y'all. We're gonna let this go for 3 to 4 minutes on the first side. And you're not gonna take your tongs and you're not gonna peek or prod or you will ruin that amazing sear. But during that time, you can check out my New York strip steak that is spice rubbed, served with parsnip fries. The video is right here. It is gonna hook you up with some major steaky deliciousness. You guys, check out that crust. I delivered on my promise, thank goodness, and that's all about the spice rub and leaving it alone in the pan. We'll give it 2 to 3 minutes on this side and then evacuate the dance floor. And the last guy, here is the deal with steak. If you're gonna eat these right now, wait 5 or 10 minutes because the juices inside are literally boiling. If you cut them now, you're not only gonna burn your tongue off, but all the juices will run everywhere and the steak will dry out. So wait 5 or 10 minutes. Now Brussels sprouts are ready. Let's grab these out of the oven. Oh, wait till you guys see this. Chicky, check that out, y'all. Did I tell you they are gonna be roasty and toasty? Now these little caramelized leaves are my favorite. I will fight you for those because they're so good. So go ahead and transfer them to a large bowl. You guys, crispy and nutty on the outside, creamy on the inside. These ain't your mama's Brussels sprouts, but I ain't gonna stop there. I'm gonna add more flavor and more texture by grabbing a 1/4 cup of chopped and toasted walnuts. If you guys know anything about me, it's that I'm a crunchaholic. And then a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries and the zest of 1 lemon. Because it's gonna add such a burst of freshness and a little bit of acid and totally kick up the flavors. And once again, I'm gonna play with my food because I can, and there ain't nothing mama can do about it now. Will you look at that, guys? Get in there. Come on, get in there. That is just a bowl of deliciousness, texture, flavor, but most importantly, it is downright healthy. So good.
Hey, what are you doing there?
What? I did tell you a little something about oven roasted sweet potato fries and them being ridiculously addictive and ridiculously easy to make. Here's how you do it. Cut 7 sweet potatoes into 1/2-inch thick wedges and toss them in a bowl. Add 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, pinch of salt, along with a teaspoon of cumin and a little bit of cayenne pepper. And give it a good shimmy and shake. Slide the fries onto a preheated sheet tray and bake them at 450 for 20 to 35 minutes until they're nice and caramelized. Sprinkle on a touch of brown sugar and get ready for your new addiction. If you guys follow me on the Flav City Snapchat or Instagram story, you see that I made this the other night with honey nut squash, which is like this new vegetable I've never heard of. So make sure you follow me over there because I'm snapping what I'm making for dinner every single night in this very kitchen. It is time to build our Mac Daddy meal prep containers, but first I want to teach you the most important tip about skirt steak you might ever learn in your life. A little dramatic, but it's important. You're gonna grab a steak. You see how the grain of the meat runs up and down there? You can see it really easily, like a little meat accordion or something. Whatever you do, don't cut with the grain and eat it, because you're gonna be chewing on really long muscle fibers there, and that is impossible to melt in your mouth. I don't care how perfectly you cook it, that steak is gonna be like shoe leather. What you wanna do is cut against the grain like this. That steak is like butter. And when you do it against the grain, you have very small muscle fibers. And you know what's gonna happen to that meat? When it's cut like this, it melts in my mouth, and that is so tasty. The flavor jets are turning on serious right now. For meal prep purposes, I'm just gonna cut the steak in half because if you cut them into small pieces, they're definitely gonna dry out by day 2 or 3. All right, let's get the juicy skirt steak in there, and then some of the Brussels, and then some of the sweet potato fries. And my 5 containers of yumminess are officially ready, and I should probably just do a little quality control from tomorrow night's dinner. I mean, what do you think? Yeah, obviously, right? Let me tuck into a piece of steak and Brussels sprouts. You guys, that steak is so juicy, has so much flavor on that crust, and the Brussels sprouts are roasty, nutty, a little sweet from the craisins. This is so good. Plus, if you get tired of eating the steak on night 3 or night 4, chop it up into pieces and do like a beef stir fry. I have a video, shocker, I'm gonna hook you up as always. It's quinoa fried rice. Make that, add all the sauces, and then toss in the chopped beef. That is a Mac Daddy dinner. Y'all, the recipe for this steak meal prep is below in the description box. Also, I have an amazing Thanksgiving giveaway going on right this very second with KitchenAid, giving away 5 epic prizes to 5 winners. So down below in the description box is the link to enter. If you want to see some more meal prep videos, check out the ones below me. Chicken meal prep and pork chop meal prep are gonna hook you up. I will see you next week, but until then, #keep on cooking. Later, y'all.